All right, so this is the New Promise Cancer Foundation Promise Partners podcast. It's something that I started last year, and it's just a way I wanted to open up a platform for people to be able to share their stories. And sometimes people just need someone to kind of bring along and help them along that conversation. And other times someone just wants to share more about it, just the same that they've done in the past. You know, some people are, easy to talk about their stuff that they've gone through. And other times someone's never had that opportunity. So that's one of the hearts that I have for even doing this, is just to provide a way for someone to tell their story. We're in a digital world now, so this is a great way to get that done. So we're here with Jade, and she's part of the second go around. Last year, I was able to be a Promise partner, and got to talk to a lot of people, and that was a lot of fun, but a lot of good connection points too. There's friendships that were developed just from being a Promise partner. And so what we're going to do on this episode and the future ones, I got a handful of other people coming in that we'll interview as well, and just kind of talk about their perspective of how cancer has impacted their life. Sometimes it's a personal reason, sometimes they're representing someone else that unfortunately had to deal with cancer. So it's one of those things where it's just way too common. But so again, this is Jade, and we're going to just kind of talk about the reason why she's a Promise partner, the cancer that she's representing, and just kind of go from there and see where the conversation takes us. Mm-hmm. So what's the cancer that you're representing it, and is there a reason why that you connected to that one?
Okay. So I am representing ovarian cancer. I'm representing ovarian cancer for my mom. She was diagnosed in the summer of 2023 with stage 3 ovarian cancer, and as of last year, she is in remission.
That's awesome. Someone that's not familiar with that territory, like what do you expect, or like what are the things that you kind of go through, and how did it like impact you personally?
Okay. As far as ovarian cancer goes, neither of us had any idea kind of any symptoms, any signs. Mm-hmm. She had been feeling sick for months on end, and she continuously gone to the doctor, mm-hmm. and they gave her medicine for UTIs. She was truly on antibiotics for 6 months. Wow. For UTIs. She was swelling, she was gaining fluid, and then finally she had to advocate for herself. Mm. And once that happened, they did pathology, and it came back ovarian mm-hmm. cancer, and that's what was causing the swelling, the mm-hmm. sickness, and everything. Luckily, not luckily, right. In a weird sort of event.
It is hard to like describe that kind of stuff. It's like you don't want to. It's like this isn't a good thing, but a good thing too.
So, flashback 2019. Mm-hmm. I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. Mm. I had began a long relationship with Dothan Hematology. Right. So I was already in for a checkup, and I kind of mentioned it to them. Mm-hmm. They immediately said, we want to take her in. Right. We want her to have the same care you do. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I let them know my mom was sick, Dr. McAllister jumped in and started the
really
wheels
good team
rolling.
Over there.
Yes. So it's kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping it in Dothan and with the same team.
Right. And so like that's one of the main things that since I've been doing some video work and campaigns with multiple organizations that deal with cancer, keeping things local is such a big deal. For your family, like why was it so important to keep it local? Why are you thankful that there are services here that can take care of?
I truly don't think people realize that we have the services here mm-hmm. and the resources to assist people right. instead of them having to go, to Birmingham mm-hmm. or Houston, Texas. Right. So it's really nice that we do have such a place and such a foundation that thinks of the community and wants to take care of them in such a vulnerable time. Right. We really wanted to use this facility because of the time and care they've put into me. Mm-hmm. My initial visit, typically from my personal experience, you don't get long visits with doctors. They come in, they do what they need to do, and they're gone because they are so, on a tedious schedule. Dr. McAllister spent 90 minutes explaining everything in detail, what was going to happen, how it was going to happen.
Right.
I mean, it was very thorough. He did the same thing with my mom. And I mean, I wouldn't want that for I would want that for everyone. I would think that's their typical protocol, truly.
Right. Yeah, that's something that I'm thankful for here. Just knowing, like, if I ever have to go through it, or someone that I love or care about, that you don't have to go to those big places, and you can kind of have that home connectivity.
Absolutely.
And also, like, there's so many times where you just need to have the comfort of your own home.
Right.
Not every time that you're going to be, stuck in a hospital room.
Right.
But if you're going to get treatment, sometimes if you're out of town, you're going to be in a hotel room or something like that.
It does make it more comfortable. It makes it a lot less stressful. I mean, it is a stressful time, but still being close to home, having such a close-knit facility truly lessens the blow of it.
For sure. One of the things that I've discovered too, just through whether you're going through cancer yourself or a family member and all that kind of stuff, is like your mental health is just as important as getting through the treatments and stuff like that. Because if you're in a better condition mentally, it's going to help you get through that kind of stuff. And so just the simple, you would think just simple things like that you might take advantage of, that the comfort of your home, being able to stay in your local area, having, loved ones be able to take you to places and things like that, you're not having to rely on services, goes a long way.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the mental health aspect of that, because I feel like sometimes that can be a make or break for a patient. If you're down in the dumps, it just takes everything down with you. So going back to it, being close to home definitely boosts morale for sure. And it's something as simple as having your favorite foods, because not everything is going to be conducive to your health at the time. So having some of your favorite foods that you can eat and that's close by, it's perfect. It's perfect.
That's a good way to put it. I didn't think about the food aspect of that, because otherwise you have to do
there's food aversions,
takeout or restaurants and all that kind of stuff, and that's just not a good home cooked meal. Goes a long way. That's awesome. But that kind of, like, before I get too far into the conversation too, is like, if you've never heard of the New Promise Cancer Foundation, one, I'll have a link in the description or in the comment section to where we can share more information. And also, like, each of you has their own link to where you're raising your own money. I think is it $2,000 per person? Is that the goal? I think I'll have to double check on that.
Everybody had different goals.
Okay.
So most goals started about 2,000.
Awesome.
Yes.
I think last year what we did was, if the goal was for at least everybody to do 2,000.
Right.
So regardless, each person that we're talking to, and even beyond that, how many partners are there? There's quite a bit.
Last I heard 25.
I was in the 20s, so there's quite a good number of people that are part of the campaign this year. But each person is raising money for their own cause, but it goes through to the same pool.
Right.
And what that pool does is help with all kinds of expenses. It's one of those things where, sometimes it's common needs that are needed, but other times there's other things that come up, expenses that you didn't expect, and just services or just simple things like getting a home cooked meal is what New Promise Cancer Foundation does. It's really like they're kind of filling the gap with just some areas that we don't have in this area, like the Dothan area. So it's such a cool program that Dothan Hematology, I think, is the founders of this whole program. It's a new extension, in a sense, like almost like a passion project. It's something that they saw a need and they wanted to try to take care of that for our local area. So again, it's a program that takes care of just expenses that people are struggling with. If there's something unexpected that comes up, it's like, yes, there's insurance and all that kind of stuff, but insurance doesn't cover
these high
necessarily
co-pays.
Like even a babysitter. Like if you need to get a ride to your appointment,
absolutely,
like all those kind of things are different ways that I know that the foundation steps in and helps out. So that's like where the fundraising side of things go towards. And I know, like, so last year I represented my dad, who unfortunately passed away with lymphoma, and it was crazy. It was like within 3 months he was gone. Like once we got the diagnosis and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like when you have that kind of unexpected just development of things that happen, there's all kinds of things that go on. I know, like my family, like my wife and I, and then I had one child at the time. It's, I still had to work. I still had to do this, and take care of the family. But then other family members had to come in and we had to do a rotating kind of thing of taking care of either my mom or my dad doing stuff. So, again, just meals, just go back to something like that. The
bare basics.
The basics. It's like you don't want to have to think about what am I going to do for dinner.
Right.
And so when you have people that can kind of step in and just help take care of that need, it goes, like I said, it goes a very long way. Kind of like jumping back into your experiences, like with the cancer kind of stuff. You've got more than one occurrence, and you said that was kind of close in the same time period?
I was diagnosed September of 2019. My mom was diagnosed in early August 2023, and she started chemo early September 2023. So it was kind of an eerie.
Yeah, it's like it's a few years apart, but at the same time, like you get over something and you kind of try to get back into So it's like I don't want to have to go through all that kind of stuff again. So, but you've come out good. Like everything's
September I will be at the 5-year marker.
Nice.
So that's huge.
That's awesome.
It's huge.
So good.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Yes,
I think there's some partners that could do multiple cancer representations. I know like your mom obviously means a lot to you. Is there anybody else that has struggled with that cancer?
With ovarian? Yes. One of my friends from high school, she was diagnosed at 25, just shortly after she got married, and she fought extremely hard. But that was the first person my age that I'd ever heard of having cancer. Yeah. That was really close to me. So then it really made an impact because it was close.
Right.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't stop to think about her. She fought for so long and so hard, and she finally lost her battle in 2016. But she was just so tough and just, gosh, so perky, just happy through everything.
So, I love hearing those side of stories too, because like I think it's like you're not trying to glorify anything. You're not trying to like make something that it's not. But like when someone can definitely be like a champion in a sense for that kind of area. Like I've had family members that have struggled through other kind of diseases and stuff too. And you can kind of see some that just look defeated, which no judgment whatsoever. But there's also others that somehow are able to get above that and become like an encouragement to others. And
absolutely,
you just get to the point where it's like, well, my problems are not that bad. If they can have this kind of attitude and still going through these kind of struggles, it kind of puts a different perspective on life.
And I kind of used her as a mindset. Once I was diagnosed, I was like, okay, I am a single mom. I've got to get this done.
Yeah.
I have a small child. I cannot let this conquer me at all.
There you go. That's
so
big.
I had to stay positive because I knew if I went negative, it was just going to go downhill.
So was it something just internally yourself that you kind of worked through, or was there more inspiration from others or other kind of help that got you through some of the struggles that you had to go through?
It was a little bit of everything. I just truly was trying to find the positives in such lows of lows. Just simple things, something as simple as not having to get my hair colored every 6 weeks. That was saving money. There's my positive, simple, but still, I was truly having to dig for positives. But also, I knew that I had to stay positive. I had to keep things normal and keep normal life going because I had a small child that I had to take care of.
What age was your child at the time?
3.
3.
And I was diagnosed on his 3rd birthday.
Oh, wow.
It was a day.
I can imagine. Yeah. 3-year-olds are not the easiest to take care of.
No, they're busy.
With as active as they are and obviously still needy.
They're busy.
So you said you had to dig for positives and stuff like that. So if you were talking to someone that's going through struggles and they're having a hard time finding positivity or ways to get above the struggles, what's some advice that you could give people that are going through these kind of tough moments?
I know it's going to sound, cliche, but I mean, you truly have to make the decision in your mind. I'm going to survive this. I've got to stay positive. I've got to keep going. Life has got to continue.
Right.
You've pretty much got to force yourself. Because once you do get that diagnosis, it's earth-shattering. You go numb. So you have to come out of it and get your head on straight and then keep moving and say, I've got to get this done.
Yeah.
So,
It is hard to explain that mindset.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, it's not cancer related, but back in high school, I attempted to take my life. So it was, in short, obviously in a depressive state. But once I survived an attempt, had to go to the, facilities for a few days and all that kind of stuff. But once I was there, I was like,
wow,
this is not going to be me anymore. Like,
right.
It's like we said, it's really hard to explain.
Right. Unless
that
you've been
mindset.
there.
It's not like a flip switch kind of thing.
No.
It's like, it's either going to be this way or that way. And I don't want to go through that stuff anymore. Right. So like you get to a state of mind somehow.
You do.
And you're able to kind of just take better steps forward. There's actually I guess I can do kind of like a little hidden plug. There's a campaign like a personal project that I'm kind of in the development for, and it's called And I'm Still Here. And so like that's been a statement ever since then that I've kind of held on to. It's like, I'm still here. So while I'm still here, there's got to be a reason why.
That's such a mighty statement.
So I'm excited about it. I got stuff working to where it's hopefully this year is where I'll have it, some more, stuff about it.
That's huge.
But that's something that I held on to. It's kind of like you kind of see the ... And
Absolutely.
I'm still here.
Yes.
So like, that was back in high school. 2001 is when that happened. So that's been obviously a minute since then.
Just a little bit.
But regardless, it's like, life happens, struggles happen. It's not a bed of roses since then. There's been some rough points in the road kind of stuff. But I'm like, even in the hardest times, I'm still here. So that's been a statement that helped me get through a lot of stuff. Just sometimes in those quiet moments where just kind of, what's the term, pull up your bootstraps and I'm still here. So let's make something good of it.
I don't know if you felt like this, but after everything happened, I felt like it was almost a factory reset for my life.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, sure. I've got a fresh start.
That's a really
factory
good way to put
reset. Let's go.
Because I was back during that time period, I was put on, medication and stuff like that. But I was like, I don't want medication to control me. So it's like I did whatever I had to do to get off of that kind of stuff and get to where I was like, I'm just gonna live my life and not be dependent on this kind of thing, and not let that determine what my life is going to be like from that point. But yeah, factory reset is a great way to describe that, because that's probably one of the best ways to describe it.
That's been the only way I could describe it. They're like, how have you felt after cancer? It was a factory reset. And that's how I explained it to my mom. It's a factory reset.
Yeah.
Once you're done, you get the choice. You're going to be happy and positive and see things in a different manner and feel, how you feel. Or,
right.
so, Yeah, factory reset.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a very good way to put it. Were there people in your life that helped you get through that kind of stuff too? Was there anybody that kind of took under their wing, or was it more of a single battle?
So I actually met my husband while I was sick. He, I truly don't know how I met him. We to this day cannot tell you, but I will forever sing his praises. We met. I was a single mom, still going through the ropes of cancer. I had finished. No, I was still going through chemo. Bald. I just felt like a shell of a human, and I could not understand for the life of me why this man wanted anything to do with me. I mean, just very. He stood back and he would only ask, "Do you need anything? Can I help?" Or he would just kind of sit something there. Like if he knew I needed something, he would just kind of sit it there. But he has been such a trooper and the most heaven sent.
That's amazing.
Like it was. I truly think that was a very divine timing thing.
Right.
Because I needed somebody to be strong for me.
Right.
On my weaker moments.
Yeah. That's amazing. I think it's so important to have at least someone to help you through that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's not the people that you even expect.
No, not at all.
That's awesome. What are some of the ways that he helped you get through some of the moments? Like context to that is what I love to try to provide is like sometimes people that are not dealing with the cancer, for example, need to know what the other person might need. So I know everyone's different, but maybe there's a way that we can encourage people to kind of like have an open mind about being aware of their surroundings kind of stuff.
He was very good about just sitting in silence with me because sometimes I just wanted to sit in silence. And just even having somebody in the room with you and having somebody there was more of a comfort than he'll ever understand.
Right.
Just being present.
Yeah.
Even a simple text, "Hey, I'm thinking about you." Just checking in. You don't have to respond, just wanted to check on you.
Yeah.
Just letting somebody know that you matter. And
that's good.
You know, something as simple as a coffee that I didn't ask for.
Right.
Just very simple, basic gestures.
So it doesn't have to be
helpful.
Like this big over the top.
No.
Servant.
There's
what do you need?
No. There was a lot of times there's so much going on, so much hectic movement with cancer. The most basic things make the biggest impact.
Right.
Just something simple.
I'm that type of person. I just like someone in the room too.
Right.
So I can identify with that too. That's good. Kind of to like just wrapping up a little bit, unless if there's more that you want to share, just some more takeaways from what you've experienced and like maybe what you would encourage someone that, why would they support this foundation's purpose and their mission and what they're doing? How do you see what the foundation takes care of, how they help out the people that, it's not just, the nation or Alabama or whatever. It's like, it's literally this area. It's our loved ones that potentially will be taking care of your friends, people you go to work with, people that you might not even know that are going through that kind of stuff. Because sometimes cancer isn't like this big outward appearance. Sometimes you cannot tell someone has cancer or is going through it or going through treatments. And so it's like literally it could be the person next to you that you're working with. So how does the New Promise Cancer Foundation campaign that we're going through right now, it's the month of March, how does this campaign help out our local people?
Well, all of the donations, like you said, they're staying in this area. So everything is there. It is there for the people of our community to help them on the smallest of things or, some of the larger things. Prescriptions sometimes for chemos and stuff like that. The copays can be so high. Some of these donations are covering copays for chemo treatments
Right.
that are necessary.
Mm-hmm.
They're covering maybe meals, sometimes even rent, sometimes
Right.
if they have to be here,
Mm-hmm.
even a little more centralized.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know, you just don't get that too many other places where your community keeps the funding there and it puts it back into.
Yeah.
So I think that's neat that it stays. So
Right.
it goes back into any need, truly.
Right.
If the need is there, the money's there.
Yeah, I think I like that point a lot. With you just know where your money is going.
Right.
It's not
You
one of
can
those
see
things
it.
like you donate and then you know, I'm sure it'll be used for good.
Right.
You don't necessarily know, but you like this is very somewhat specific cause. You know, it's cancer patients and their families and stuff that are here in the Wiregrass. So just knowing that your money is going to a good cause, a great cause that is impacting like your neighbor or loved one.
Absolutely.
I think that's a huge thing. It's not like this. It's just gonna be sent off and hope for the best.
And the idea that there is some type of help there can also improve someone's mindset about it, because immediately when somebody hears cancer, they think of insanely high bills
Right.
that they can't afford. So they may teeter, I don't really want to do that.
Right.
But knowing that it's here and they're going to,
It just gives them
have
that
some
little bit more
assistance,
hope
that's
to get
just
through it.
another positive that they can have
Yeah.
for them to hold on to.
Yeah, just a little bit more hope.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's just the little bit that's needed to get them through
Exactly.
the whole process.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, like I'll leave links below to Jade's link for specifically ovarian cancer. But there's, if you're passionate about a different one, there's a whole list of different ones. And it's not, no one's going to be offended if you
No.
use someone else's link, because like I said, it's going right to the same pool. Everyone's got their goals, of course, and trying to just support each other in those kind of regards. If there's like any questions, if you have comments, concerns about the New Promise Cancer Foundation, again, there's going to be a link to their website. They will be happy to walk you through anything that you need to know. I'm curious too, like if there is, if you're going through cancer or a loved one that is, and especially if you're here in the Wiregrass, leave a comment below. We're all here for each other for support. So at the very least, just give a comment or something like that. Share this video with your social media networks too, so that way maybe someone hears an encouraging word, and maybe that could be their little bit of hope to get them through their hard point. But thank you, Jade, for coming in. This is an amazing conversation. I loved it. A lot of good takeaways. And again, we'll chat later.
Thank you.
All right. And that's it.